From the shining domicile that is Pittsburgh Comics, my old mannered comic shop owner, Colin McMahon, transforms into the world's greatest comic book talking TV host. Join us true believers for Comics Now!
Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Now for November 2023. Thanksgiving is fast approaching, Black Friday for me is fast approaching and having to get ready for it. And it's a really fun, exciting time of year where lots of stuff is going on here at the store. And there's also lots of stuff going on in comics. For book club, because book club would normally fall on Black Friday, and no offense to all the book club people, I don't want to stay extra late that day. We're going to kick that to the following week, which is December 1st. It's not a huge delay. But we're going to be doing the book Bodies. It was an old Vertigo book written by Cy Spurrier with a bunch of different artists. And it's now a Netflix series. So we figured we'll tie it together with a show that most people probably didn't know was a book. So Bodies, we'll have more in next week. So there it is, a chock full month. Lots of stuff going on, events starting from both of the big companies. Image has a ton. Everybody has a bunch of stuff coming, so let's jump right into it. And because they have the big event coming, we're going to start with DC Comics. DC is starting off with Titans Beast World. This is running through a bunch of series, bunch of mini-series, little one-shots, all sorts of stuff. But Titans Beast World is by Tom Taylor and Ivan Rice. Superman, Wonder Woman, Starfire, all are powerless to stop the Necrostar from ending all life on Earth. The only hero who can save the world is Beast Boy? With Nightwing, Raven, Cyborg, and the Titans beside him, can Gar Logan rise to battle an ancient evil? What will Amanda Waller do to take advantage of the situation as millions of people are changed into rampaging creatures? Can humanity survive the all-powerful heroes and villains transformed into ferocious beasts? Friends will fall, heroes will rise, and nothing will ever be the same again. We've never heard that before. Earth is about to become Beast World. We also have Titans Beast World Tour Metropolis. As the ramifications of the Titans' battle with Starro reverberate across the globe, Metropolis is hit with an unexpected surge of electricity from, no, it can't be, Livewire? But she's okay, you're going to have to read this one to believe it. Meanwhile, Supergirl and Dreamer take on the terror of Flamebird. Power Girl is no longer, and amid the chaos, a threat continues to grow on the horizon. All signs point to a major new shift in the world of Superman. And then next up, we have Titans Beast World Waller Rising. The Kingdom, a mystical and metaphysical realm, sits at the nexus of the Parliaments. A formidable new adversary, Dr. Hate, emerges with intentions to corrupt both the Kingdom and the Parliament of the Red in pursuit of chaos. Batwing, Vixen, Val-Zod, Superman, and Black Manta are thrust together in a desperate fight for survival. They must learn to cooperate to thwart Dr. Hate's destructive plans before the wicked entity can devastate this unique plane, which represents a collective consciousness. The consciousness unifies the red, green, rot, clear, melt, metal, and gray into a harmonious realm of peace. In their struggle against Dr. Hate, these heroes and villains also face the task of unraveling how Amanda Waller's rise is entwined with the ongoing crisis. We also have Titans Beast World Evolution. It's not easy being green, but Gar Logan has made the best of it. After contracting a rare disease as a child, he underwent an experimental genetic treatment that granted him incredible ability to shapeshift into any animal at will. As Beast Boy, Gar has saved the world as a member of the Titans more times than he can count, but soon he could be the one to destroy it all. Now, a new Batman book. This one's interesting. Batman Offworld by Jason Aaron and Doug Mahnke. A routine night in Gotham City for a young Batman proves to be anything but routine when the crime fighter is confronted with a sort of foe he's never faced before, one from beyond the stars. A universe of possible alien threats leads Batman to make a daring decision to venture alone into the far reaches of the cosmos for the very first time, where the Dark Knight will face the fight of his life. We also have, returning to the movie universe, we're getting Batman 89 Echoes. This is written by Sam Hamm, who wrote the Batman movie, and drawn by Joe Quinones. You want to go nuts? Let's go nuts. After Harvey Dent's crusade against Gotham and Batman, the Cape Crusader has disappeared without a trace. In his place, ordinary citizens have taken to the streets to root out crime. As innocents get hurt, the question on everyone's mind is the same. Where is Batman? We're also returning to the world of Superman 78 in The Metal Curtain #1. When the planet Krypton exploded, its last son was rocketed across the cosmos and came to settle in a small town in Kansas. What else came with him, and what if a piece of his homeland landed somewhere we never knew about? As Superman has become a symbol of strength and pride for America, the Soviet Union looks to crush that image with a creation of their own, built by their own might and forged by their own power. We also have one you never thought you'd see: Batman Santa Claus Silent Night. The 4-part crossover event of a generation begins when a not-so-jolly St. Nick hits Gotham City to investigate a brutal crime in the days leading up to Christmas. What manner of man or beast could have committed such atrocities? With the help of his former student, Batman, Santa will team up with the heroes of the DC Universe to right this wrong, or the world wakes up to coal in their stockings. A brutal two-fisted holiday tale of hope, wonder, and monster hunting is the perfect treat to ring in the holidays, including a Ben Oliver rub and smell variant cover. Does it smell like Batman? You'll have to see. Now, Detective Comics is starting a bi-weekly series in issue 1076. Batman Outlaw, a 5-part bi-weekly Detective Comics event, starts here. Batman, now under the control of an Asmer demon, is to be publicly hanged to atone for his crimes. With both the city and the Dark Knight under the Orgum's spell, it's a lawless land, and with the Bat family out of the picture after the events of the Gotham War, who will help him? It's up to a ragtag group of Batman's greatest allies and enemies to steal him from the gallows before it's too late. Batman 139 starts a new story arc. Following the cataclysmic events of the Gotham War, Batman finds himself completely isolated from his family, struggling to keep the rage of Zur in check. But he can't stop because he's out there, haunting the city, hunting the Dark Knight, the Joker, and the new Batman is ready to stop him once and for all. We have a new book, Outsiders. Batman protects Gotham City from evil. Batman Inc. protects the rest of the known world. But what of the unknown world? What of the ancient evils and hidden tombs and forgotten tragedies from a magic and mad science-fueled superheroic century? Using his fortune, Luke Fox launches a new organization dedicated to shining light onto the world's darkest corners. His first recruit, Kate Kane, the Batwoman, who will re-embrace her military background to protect Luke's dream and encounter every bit of strangeness the DCU has to offer. Just wait until you meet the Third Man, or learn what universe-shattering secret they've discovered buried under Antarctica. Outsiders is the return of comic book archaeology, digging into all the forgotten corners of DC's history to preserve, record, and better understand the true nature of the DC multiverse and the forgotten stories that make up its fabric. To me, this sounds like the return of Planetary, so we'll see what happens here. We also have Speed Force #1. Wallace West and Avery Ho, the young speedsters, have been Teen Titans, Justice Leaguers, and above all, members of the Flash family. As they become aware of the mysterious changes happening to the Speed Force, they race to Keystone City, where they encounter old friends, new threats, and a chance to forge their own paths. We also have their Christmas special, DC's 'Twas the Might Before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a bat mite. Join your DC favorites as they take on 8 holiday stories. And DC has some facsimile editions coming out in November. We have Adventure Comics 260, which is the first Silver Age Aquaman. All-Star Comics 3, which is the first Justice Society. Batman 5, which is the first remodeled Batmobile. Doom Patrol 99, which is the first appearance of Beast Boy. And Wonder Woman #1 from 1942. Now let's see what Marvel has to offer. Now from Marvel in November, a whole bunch of new ones. Starting off, Superior Spider-Man. This returns Dan Slott and Mark Bagley. Spider-Man faces a new villain from his superior past. As she fries New York with all the power of a living star, Doc Ock makes a life-changing discovery. We also have Deadpool, new miniseries, 7 Slaughters. 7 kills in 7 days. Welcome to a week in the life of Wade Wilson, the best mercenary Marvel's ever had. From facing off with rival killers to top secret assassinations, Deadpool has a lot of work to do in this blood-soaked, oversized issue full of fan-favorite creators, past and future. We also have Marvel Superhero Secret Wars Battle World. After nearly 40 years, the mysteries of the Secret Wars deepen. Get ready for an all-new cataclysmic battle from when Spider-Man first got his alien costume, when a mysterious being called the Beyonder assembled the superheroes and villains from Earth to do battle on a patchwork planet. Witness now an untold adventure set during the original Secret Wars. We also have Spider-Gwen is back, Spider-Gwen on Tour #1. We have the Mary Janes are off on a 4-city tour as the opening act to one of Earth 65's biggest rock bands. Gwen has promised the band that this will be all about the music, no web slinging, just drums. But when a mysterious assassin targets the headliner, Gwen begins to wonder how she got this gig in the first place. Daredevil is back with a new one called Black Armor. D.G. Chichester returns to Hell's Kitchen to spin an all-new Daredevil story set during his landmark run with the character. That was during the Daredevil Armor period back in the 90s. We also have a Thanos miniseries. The Mad Titan descends upon Earth to retrieve something he has lost, and the Illuminati must band together to stop him because they're the ones who hid it from him. Howard the Duck. It is his 50th anniversary, so we are getting a Howard the Duck special. Meet Howard. He's a hard-boiled PI with problems by the duckload. But a cosmic, all-seeing friend known as the Peeper is giving him a chance to see what his life could be, the joys he could have, all the ways his life could suck way less than it does now. We also have new Thunderbolts #1. This is Bucky Barnes, the Revolution, just inherited a mountain of covert intel, and he has one objective: justice, like lightning. He's going after the establishment, the people no one else is willing or able to take down, and he'll do whatever it takes to win. Teaming up with the mysterious Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, Bucky assembles a team of Black Ops heavy hitters to pursue high-profile targets like the Red Skull, Kingpin, and even Doctor Doom himself. No one is safe from the Thunderbolts. We have a new Sentry #1. The Sentry is dead, but ordinary people all over the world are suddenly manifesting his powers and experiencing snippets of Bob Reynolds' memories. Will one of them survive long enough to emerge as the new Sentry, or will their newfound power destroy them? When Misty Knight and Jessica Jones cross paths in search of answers, they open an investigation that will change everything you know about the Sentry. We also have a new Punisher series by David Pepose and local artist Dave Wachter. Frank Castle has disappeared, but evil always needs to be punished. With all new threats rising to claim innocent victims, criminals will need to beware of a dangerous vigilante hunting them from the shadows. Who is the new Punisher? What put him on his path of vengeance? And when the smoke clears, will even he make it out alive? Now, the big event that's starting up is Amazing Spider-Man Gang War. A war has erupted between the gang lords of New York City, causing chaos throughout the Big Apple. Villains are fighting villains, criminals are fighting criminals. For Peter Parker, going on patrol isn't enough, and he declares his own war on supercrime, the goal to take down the super gangs in 48 hours. Now, there's a bunch of lead-up issues, the First Strike issues in Amazing Spider-Man 37 and 38, and Miles Morales 12, and we have some new series kicking off First Strike. We have Spider-Woman #1. The Web of Destiny restored Spider-Woman's life, but even Captain Marvel and Madam Web can tell something's changed. Now Spider-Man wants to recruit her for a new team because Viper has emerged as engineered a deadly union between Hydra and Diamondback that's about to tear the city apart, bringing forth a new foe powerful enough to destroy the city while burning Spider-Woman's world to the ground. We also have Luke Cage Gang War. In the wake of the Anti-Vigilante Act, Luke has been trying to save the city from behind a desk, but a meeting with old friend Danny Rand reminds him of the good old days when problems could be punched in order to solve them. As New York descends into a gang war, Luke must use every power he has to protect the innocent and save his city. Then Amazing Spider-Man Gang War First Strike. The supercrime landscape of New York has been on edge. This issue, they jump over that edge. What incites the war? Who hired Shotgun and took out Tombstone? What, if anything, can Spider-Man do about it? Everything you need to know before Gang War is here. Then we have Spider-Man 39. Gang War starts here. Supercrime is running rampant and Spider-Man can't solve just one problem at a time. So Spidey builds a team to take down all the supercriminals of New York City in 48 hours. We also have a new White Widow series. Super spy, rogue agent, shadow of the Black Widow, Yelena Belova has been many things, but striking out as a hero in her own right is new to her. Now that she's finally free to choose her own path, who will she become? And Ultimate Universe is here. This is Jonathan Hickman with Stefano Caselli. After the world-shaking conclusion of Ultimate Invasion, a new team of heroes bands together to save the future. Don't miss out on this foundational issue for the new line of Ultimate Comics. We also have Spider-Boy #1. This is from Dan Slott and Paco Medina. Secrets of Spider-Boy revealed. Here comes the spectacular Spider-Boy. After the events of the end of the Spider-Verse, Spider-Boy's secret history as Spider-Man's sidekick was nearly forgotten forever. But now those mysteries will be revealed while they embark on an exciting new adventures together. Avengers 7 is a new story arc. The Avengers defend the world, but they are beginning not to recognize the world as their own. What happened to the Earth's mightiest heroes? And what has happened to the Vision? We have a new Carnage 1. Every symbiote needs a host, and for Carnage, there has only ever been one host who has made it feel whole, and it's time for a reunion. There's a What If Dark Tomb of Dracula, written by Marv Wolfman. What if the legendary Dracula transformed Blade the Vampire Hunter into a vampire? And then some facsimile editions, neat ones. They're doing Uncanny X-Men 141 and 142, which is the Days of Future Past storyline. We also have X-Men Blue Origins, the definitive Nightcrawler origin story. This is the one you can't miss, true believer. You think you know how the beloved Blue Devil came into this troubled world? You think you know the tale of his mendacious mama Mystique? You don't. Mother and son reunite in a mold-shattering tale that exposes secrets held for decades and redefines both characters forever. There's a Marvel Voices Avengers book. We're getting a new Alien series as well. Star Wars The High Republic kicks off with Phase 3. And there's also a new Star Wars Visions Peach Momoko. Peach Momoko brings her unique storytelling to a galaxy far, far away. Now from Image Comics. Coming in November from Image, we got a bunch of new ones. The big one being G.I. Joe is back. G.I. Joe, the rights, Skybound, Robert Kirkman's imprint over at Image now has the rights to Transformers and G.I. Joe. So they're kicking off the new run of G.I. Joe in November. But first off, we're getting a reprint of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero #1 from the 1980s. They fixed up some of the dialogue that went weird. So that facsimile edition is coming, as well as G.I. Joe #301, which is written by Larry Hama. A new era for G.I. Joe starts here, but one Joe won't survive this issue. We also have Blood Commandment. This is by Simon Kodransky. Living an isolated life in the shadowed valley surrounded by mountains and a thick forest, a father and son are terrorized by a dangerous supernatural presence. Only the father's dark secrets can save them, or damn their souls for all eternity. We also have Crave #1. This is by Maria Lovett. Crave, a mysterious app that promises to make your desires come true, spreads among the students of an elite university who use it as a hookup app. David, a top student, engages in a game of seduction with the unattainable Alexandria. But as requests to the escalate and wreak havoc on campus, David and his friends have only one chance to stop the spiral and to find out what really lies behind Crave. You have The Deviant. This is by James Tinian and Joshua Hickson. As snow falls over Milwaukee in 1972, a blood-stained Santa Claus commits unimaginable atrocities against young men. 50 years later, a troubled young writer interviews this so-called deviant killer who still maintains his innocence from behind bars. And as Christmas approaches once again, the past returns wielding a sharpened axe. We have Dutch Zero. This is by Joe Casey and Nathan Fox. It's been 30 years since he served as the ultimate superhero soldier. Now his life is shattered by an old enemy from the past. Will Dutch answer this newest call to action? We also have Geiger is back with a two-part miniseries, Ground Zero, by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. The saga of the unnamed continues. What happened to Tariq Geiger in the days after the nuclear bombs first dropped? How did mankind survive the unknown war? Who is the mysterious Russian scientist Dr. Molotov, and why is he hunting Geiger? And how does this tie all the way back to the American Revolution? Get ready to put your hazmat suit on and find out. So we have The Holy Roller. Everyone was sitting around wondering when comedy legend Andy Samberg would join Rick Remender and Fall Out Boy's Joe Trauman to write a comic about a vigilante who smashes people's faces with a bowling ball, and everyone's dreams have come true. To care for his ailing father, Pro Bowler Levi Cohen is forced to quit his dream job and return to his hometown, which he soon discovers has been overrun by neo-Nazis. With only his bowling ball to defend himself, Levi becomes the Holy Roller, a trick bowling ball-wielding Jewish superhero battling to liberate his home and bowl a perfect game against crime. We also have Petrol Head. In a climate crisis-ravaged future metropolis, an old, grumpy, obsolete, smoke-belching, cigar-chomping, hot rod racing robot is one 12-year-old girl's only hope. Can they outrace the chasing robo-cops with an invention that might save humanity? From Boom now, we have Zawa, #1. Trapped inside her mountain by pollution-spewing factories, the guardian spirit Zawa only has industrial waste to eat, leading her to a bitter existence of paranoia and destruction. When two siblings from a nearby village help her escape, they'll quickly learn that the way to calming Zawa's heart is through her well-nourished stomach. Let's have a new one, Lotus Land. In a Vancouver of the future, painted with ultra-modern decay, a groundbreaking advancement in technology promises to end the entropy itself. But when an attack on this mysterious Keeper program threatens the lives of everyone tied to it, retired police detective Benny Strickman is called to investigate one last case. We also have a Berserker story, Fallen Empire. The lone survivor of Olos, a long-dead empire that once thrived, tells a tale of B's distant past and the death and cataclysm he brought forth. But what else did B find that could have driven him to such violence? The heart is as much a weapon as any in B's arsenal. We also have The Space Between. Aboard the interstellar ark known as the Dodana, the population of workers live in strictly separated social castes during the journey that will take multiple generations to complete. But everything changes when a pilot from the upper tier named Revla falls to the lower level and meets Les, and they must risk everything for not just themselves, but for all of those aboard. New stuff from Dynamite as well. Savage Red Sonja, #1. This is written by Dan Panosian. Tasked with retrieving a long-hidden gem from a crumbled ancient kingdom, the she-devil with a sword is traveling alone through a dangerous wasteland. When fate intervenes and her solo adventure is sidetracked by a wayward prince and his bride as they try desperately to escape from fearsome desert bandits, only to be attacked by a monstrous beast from beneath the sands. We also have Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, The Great Hunt. In this exciting new comics adaptation of the series, the momentous events related to the prologue of the novel The Great Hunt are brought to vivid life. Now on to everybody else. First up, we have Ablaze, new one called The Agent. For some, magic is a myth. For others, it's a weapon. What if witchcraft really existed? If our beliefs, superstitions, and legend were material? This is what Rhyme, a young narcotics lieutenant, must question when she finds herself confronted with the impossible. While staking out a subway deal, a suspect magically kills his informant and drives the entire station into madness with just a handful of weed. Rhyme miraculously escapes unscathed. She's unaware, but she is a witch. And that fact arouses the interest of a very particular unit of the French Secret Service, a group of special agents who, like the criminals they hunt, have mastered the art of sorcery. Massive has a new one, Basic Instinct. This goes along with their American Psycho book. Flesh seduces, passion kills. An anonymous artist who draws their inspiration from famous murders has opened their newest exhibit surrounding the now infamous Ice Pick murder, centered around Catherine Trammell. However, when a security guard of the exhibit is murdered on its opening night, the art director responsible for the opening is thrust into an investigation that forces him to question his own involvement. Dark Horse brings back Count Crowley with Mediocre Monster Hunter. A dead werewolf would have made Jerry Bartman feel victorious just a few days ago, but the deceased beast was her friend, and the beloved monster hunter is shocked and depressed. The return of her predecessor brings no consolation, and now there's a ghoulish child snatcher on the loose in Beloit. Ahoy gives us Captain Ginger, the Last Feeder. Back for a 2-issue Ahoy anniversary special. Captain Ginger and his crew find themselves scattered across 1,000 light years, facing the mysteries of the captain's long-missing father and final fate of the human race. Archie has a new one called Darkling. From the outside, Darla Lang looks like a normal college student, save for a peculiar, voluminous black cloak she wears everywhere. Her peers and professors chalk this up to Darla's eccentric, introverted, slightly creepy persona. But Darla is a young woman with a secret and a mission. Darla's cloak is actually a mystical artifact that she can use as a melee weapon, trapping her enemies inside and teleporting them away. Darla's powers and connection to the supernatural world have always been a curse, and now she's enrolled in Ivy Hollow University, which harbors some dark secrets of its own. We also get a Josie and the Pussycats anniversary spectacular. Josie and the Pussycats are about to put on the concert of a lifetime in space. AWA is back with a new one, Red Light. Get ready for a red-hot, futuristic, erotic thriller that sits at the intersection of sex and tech. Lacey is an AI sex worker with a futuristic red light district, and Lacey knows exactly what her clients want, better than they know themselves. Housed in a high-tech brothel under the watchful eye of the mysterious Mister, Lacey has little in her manufactured life besides work. All that changes when she befriends Natalie, an orphan child who comes into her care. Now Lacey and Natalie are on a mission to escape the red light district, only to find themselves flung headlong into the mystery behind Lacey's creation. Distillery has a new one called Somna. This is by Becky Cloonan and Tula Lote. Set amidst the terrifying backdrop of the witch hunts in a quiet 1960s English village, Somna follows one woman's descent into an erotic escape from the confines of her puritanical world. Mad Cave brings us Eden Frost. After losing their parents in a pogrom, teenage siblings Alex and Yuli use the mystical power of a golem to survive the chaos of the Russian Civil War. In a harrowing journey through war-torn Ukraine, the duo will face a harsh reality of warfare, ethnic bias, and national pride as they fight for their own place in the world. And then finally, we have a new one from Oni, Faceless and the Family. On the broken and warped world known as the Hand Planet, the wanderer, simply called Faceless, ekes out an existence on the margins to escape the shame that cost him his name and his identity. Exiled for his crimes, Faceless now calls the wastelands his home, until good fortune of fate delivers him a mismatched band of fellow travelers who will soon become family, if they can survive a suicidal mission into the Hand Planet's class-segregated Finger Cities to restore what lies beneath Faceless's helmet, and with it, his hope in humanity. So that's a bunch of the new stuff that's coming. As usual, all of your regular series are still coming out. For book club, we are doing Bodies, and that's going to be on December 1st. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. The website's pittsburghcomics.com. Facebook is Pittsburgh Comics. Twitter and Instagram are PGH Comics. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Comic Previews Theater. See ya.
Gods and giants, look! The prisoner is free!
Odinson, out and about. This is not in accordance with what was agreed, nor what was arranged. And yet it seems you are, once again, craving both the stick and the correction with which it comes.
Lady Sif, I only want what is mine. Then I will be on my way and, though it might grieve us both, no longer your concern.
How so, son of Asgard? Are the royal prisons not my domain? Am I not the warden, and as such, you not my ward? Should you escape, all blame will be mine. I tell you truly, I care not for that. So you will act accordingly and return to your cell.
I am leaving, and I am leaving with what is mine.
Oh my, are we going to fight? I do so love it when we fight.
We don't have time for this. We have to go, now.
I will not leave without my hammer.
If you want Mjolnir so bad, come and get it, traitor.
Has it been so long that Asgard has forgotten? I do not have to.
It is a very impressive weapon,
Perhaps more impressive than your very impressive ship. Here's what I want to know. If he could summon it at will, why didn't he do that when he was in his cell? Given what we know, there's really only one reason I can think of. He didn't want to.
Wait! Wait! No! I have waited long enough.